Okay, so Payday 3 just received its next DLC update called Houston Breakout, and it was right on time as the game was getting stale again. This update seems to be focused more on the content side of things rather than tweaks and adjustments, with two brand new heists being added, one of them being free. And I'm hoping this is the norm going forward, as this is the most excited I've been to play the game since the start of Boys in Blue. But I really just wanted to share my initial thoughts on the update, at least what little I've played of it so far, because I think, well, no, actually, I hope that this is the real turning point in Payday 3, as the past 10 months could just be remembered as a bad dream, because this looks very promising so far. Also, side note, I'm not a news guy, I don't bring you the news, but I will link the changelog for the update because I've seen some players confused why they don't have the shakedown mask from the Mask Mania event in their inventory. They're also aware of this as they will gradually roll them out because for some reason I guess they're afraid that it might cause a problem within the system. So yeah, and there's also other known issues in there just in case you're curious, so I'll have that link below. But anyways, I'll begin with the content obviously because that makes up the vast majority of this update. I'll start with the 4 stores inspired Diamond District heist and free automatic pistol. These were free. Anyone who owns the game can use these and play with them from the get-go. Then I'll give my first impressions on the paid aspect of this update, being Houston Breakout and the weapon slash tailor packs, because I won't be purchasing it right now. I usually wait for DLC packs to purchase them when I'm bored because they want to space out the content, so I'm going to space out my fun. That's kind of how I like to take these things in live service games, at least. So that's what I'll be doing. I will say they have added one of my favorite guns ever in the BP-12. Wait, I forgot what it's called in the game. It's called the M7 how do you say that? M7 Pursuivant in game, and I can't wait to use it because in every game I play, it's just buttery smooth and it looks really cool in this game too. So the Diamond Heist I played on very hard, and it was actually really challenging the first time I played it. And it was surprisingly more in-depth than I expected it to be. As you can see, here's me running around looking like a goose, don't know where I'm going. I bump into the bag greeter or scanner on the second floor, but we only really had the chance to get like 4 or 5 bags before we had to get the fuck out of there. And there's something I really like about this heist is the positioning of the stores and the getaway. I feel like they've really thought out the layout of the map and how people would play, because it's tough to haul all these bags and cage parts back and forth to the middle of the street. That is just sheer chaos out there, and it brought a challenge to the game which I haven't felt in months. Now I know I suck off the heist Golden Shark a lot, but both the bigger buildings in this map feel like they took that heist and just sliced it in half and separated the buildings, and I thought that was really cool. They feel like the same building but just in different locations. The 2 smaller stores are pretty basic, but there's nothing wrong with keeping a formula that works. I'm also using the free pistol called the Tribune 32. It may be my favorite secondary in the game after playing with it for just 2 hours. I'm not even kidding. I don't tend to flip-flop on secondaries like I do with primaries usually. I either like them or I don't. The biggest downside to this thing, in my opinion, is it does paintball damage, but it has something ridiculous like 432 reserve ammo or something like that. So it's not really a problem for me, especially since I only use it close range. Keep in mind, this is with no attachments. I have it on level 2 right now, and I already feel like it's one of the better secondaries in the entire game. And I feel like it might get a nerf in the future if their track record of nerfs have anything to say about that, but I really hope they don't because it's been a blast playing with this thing. Now briefly, I have watched a little bit of Houston Breakout. I don't want to spoil myself too much. I want to leave that like a couple weeks down the line, and then I may or may not share my thoughts on it. But it gives off very strong White House from Payday 2 vibes. I don't know how to explain it, but if you've played White House, the connected corridors and long hallways, in that map, gave it a good mix-up in the gameplay. I could be wrong on this, but I hope I'm not because I really liked White House. Now, also, I am aware it is very buggy. I've watched a lot of videos explaining just how buggy it is, which is another reason why I wait to purchase new heist packs as well.
In exchange for a touch of ambition, we must suffer through a far less polished experience. In testing, we ran into 2 separate softlocks involving breaking stealth during the escape and placing the EMP before it's intended, to easily stumble into events that prevented any further progress. Additionally, the game will sometimes lead you to the wrong objective, which is incredibly confusing, especially on initial playthroughs.
But it does look like a solid heist, and I'll wait to give a more detailed opinion once I get my hands on it. Now, the biggest disappointment I have is the lack of polish of this update and fixes that could have been added. Like I said, this is a very good content edition update, but I don't see why we can't get both. We either get one or the other, like mass amounts of content or mass amount of bug fixes and changes. I'm still waiting on a server browser to be added, personally. I feel like it's been excluded short term so players won't piggyback off of their friends' purchases of DLC and other things like that. But that's the least of my worries, as it just makes the game feel more alive, especially with low player counts. Also, more detail on the menus would have been nice, like updating the weapon stats, because that system still makes 0 sense to me. The in-game menu is barren besides information of modifiers. Oh, and also underneath where they just added the daily challenges, how about like a stats section maybe? Like you can put like a most used weapon or most completed heist, or even a leaderboard feature with like your friends to see how you stack up against each other. I'm not sure if that's like something they can do, but it would really round out, or it really would have rounded out Houston Breakout, and I just hope they don't forget the little things when they work on new stuff. With that all being said, this is a very, very good DLC, and this is what we need out of the majority of our updates, because it shows just what they are capable of when they really put effort towards making something great. I would give this DLC update a 9 out of 10. This isn't by Payday 3 standards, this is just by like pure update standards. This is probably the best we've had so far, and it's just about ironing out those kinks that they still have issues with from time to time, like in-game events and players still not getting their compensation items. It's just about getting those things right that will really turn the game around and have it be a revival, which is good to see to me. So yeah, let me know what you think about this update. Have you played the update, and what will you have changed or added into this update as well? But anyways, that's it for me. I'll see you next time.